Hello, friends. Okay, this morning, or whatever time it is when you watch this video, we are going to make chocolate golden milk. And this is kind of like the dress rehearsal, but I'm going to just start recording and hopefully just get better as the time goes on. The idea kind of started by me trying to figure out what I can do with my health conditions that I have. And there's a truism or proverb or I don't know, a thought that's repeated. That's like, do what you would do if you didn't need the money. So because I've had some health issues my whole life, I try to kind of eat well-ish. I don't eat well enough for the I eat well crowd, but I eat better than the I don't eat well crowd. And then I went to culinary school, and I've always been sort of fussy or passionate or whatever about what I eat and how I eat it and how it's presented to me. And so eating is the thing I do if I don't get paid. So I just trying to piece together what are the things that I would do if without the money. So right, the truism is do what you love to do and the money will follow. I have no idea if that's true. But I do believe that small steps repeated can lead to big changes. So eating, crafts, spending time with people that I care about, those are important to me. My original idea, I had somebody here doing the videos with me, but right now today I don't have those people, and so I'm going to start the videos just me. Now, golden milk is a traditional Ayurvedic recipe. I'm not going to go into any of the health benefits because I'm not a doctor. If you're interested in those, you can go online. But I always had chocolate milk was a staple of the winter, and since it's freezing out, literally freezing outside, chocolate milk would normally be a thing that I would have had. But my health issues, I cannot have regular milk anymore. And vegan chocolate milk is expensive. And so I just sort of evolved this chocolate golden milk. Kind of necessity is the mother of invention. So I believe that I got this recipe from the Taste of Home. And I have gone ahead and doubled it because it starts with a half a cup of milk. And half a cup is just enough to tease me. Downshiftology is also a good website if you have food allergies and can't eat a lot of things for the traditional golden milk recipe. This traditional recipe starts with half a cup of milk, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, half a teaspoon of fresh or ground ginger, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a dash of black pepper, and honey or maple syrup. Now, one person may ask, why in the world would you put black pepper into what that sounds like a sweet drink? And it's the turmeric here. Again, not a doctor, but my understanding is for turmeric to be bioavailable, which is a fancy word for available for your body, you actually need to have the turmeric, the black pepper, and a fat. So there, I'm going to use the coconut milk today. There is fat in regular milk, unless you eat the non-fat. If you have non-fat milk, you'll want to add some fat back into it. And I may even add a tiny bit of virgin coconut. Because if you're eating something like turmeric for it to be healthy to your body, but your body cannot absorb it, then you're actually not helping it. Now, if you're just drinking it because it tastes good, it may not matter. But if you can do both at one time, that seems like a good idea to me. So, as I said, I doubled the recipe. So, I already have over here boiled my... So, I just start with water. You can use straight milk. So, when I found I used just straight coconut milk, it was entirely too rich for me. And I never thought I would say that. Because I was like, there's no such thing as too rich when it comes to dessert. Like people say that about cheesecake. But for a drink, it was too. So I have 1 cup of boiled water here. And so that means I am going to go ahead and use 2 teaspoons of turmeric. So I live here in humid Florida, and it does a number on our spices. So I prefer to buy my spices in bulk so that I don't end up with funny looking spices. And in my next video, I am actually going to make a DIY spice rack because I've wanted one for a long time and this seems like a good time to do it. So here's my 1 teaspoon and 2 teaspoons ground turmeric. So if you're interested in the health benefits, India does a lot of research. Their medical system believes in food as a medicine. I don't know what's the matter with the United States where they don't, or I do, but I'm not going to get into it in this video. Now, I am a big add to taste, but I'm just going to follow the recipe for this one because everybody tastes different. So you start with the original recipe and then you tweak it as you go. Turmeric stains. Stains, it stains, it stains. So, I'm warning you now. Be careful with it. Fresh turmeric, of course, has the best nutrients, the freshest nutrients. I think it tastes like dirt. So, I don't really use fresh turmeric. But if you're going for like the greatest punch, fresh turmeric is better. I won't eat it. So then, right, it doesn't do any good to my body if I just buy it and let it rot. So I would just go with the ground turmeric. So I do have fresh ginger, but I'm not going to use it today because I just felt like it was higher than I could reach today. Now, ginger and turmeric are very similar. This doesn't fit in there. So I do, however, love fresh ginger. It works really well on my pain, moderating my pain levels. Now, see, I didn't make a perfect scoop because this part, it doesn't matter. You know, baking and the science bits, they matter if it's perfect. This part doesn't. So there is my 1 teaspoon of ground ginger. Here is my cinnamon. Now, I prefer cinnamon sticks, and my lovely niece did buy me some cinnamon sticks, but we haven't connected and gotten them. I didn't want to buy new cinnamon sticks, knowing that somebody has them on their way, so I didn't. I bought this just ground ginger. If ground ginger will work, ground cinnamon will work. Since I doubled the recipe, that's my 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Cinnamon is said to be able to balance blood sugar. So that's cool if you're getting too much sugar. I don't have to really watch my blood sugar, but it makes me feel better that it might be helping. There are 2 different kinds of cinnamon. And so that may be why America is fussy about, using food, because food growing conditions can change the situation. So I believe I already said, here's my black pepper. I love black pepper. If you don't like black pepper, maybe use less. But you want a little bit to make that turmeric available. And so I'm just gonna add a little bit of coconut oil. Again, just a little bit. And this right here is my favorite organic honey. Funny thing to me, I always thought that honey upset my stomach. This was before I knew that they added all kinds of additives to honey. And I found this, I don't even know why I bought it. Oh, maybe because of allergies. So in the alternative medicine world, I think they're like, locally made honey can maybe help if you're allergic to things like pollen. And this one's almost out. But I took a little bit of this and my body was like, oh my God, I need more of that. So I think I was literally eating it out of the container. I'm single. Nobody else is eating my honey. So I can do what I want. I didn't know this until recently. Ayurvedic medicine does talk about not adding your honey too soon to your water, because I don't know why. But it does sort of make sense. If you have raw honey and you add it to boiling water, you would not have raw honey anymore because you would just cook it. So vanilla is not part of the original recipe, but since neither is the chocolate, I prefer a dash of vanilla. I do, of course, prefer, from vanilla bean themselves. However, I don't even know how to get a vanilla bean where I'm at, and I don't necessarily just trust buying it online. When I went to my local co-op, they laughed at me and said, do you know how much a vanilla bean is? And I do, actually. But here's the thing. Our bodies are sensitive instruments, and we only get one. Like our car is a sensitive instrument, but we can buy replacement pieces. Can't really buy replacement pieces of your body. Not easily, anyway. So I feel like eating well is like the original medical insurance. But know what you have, know where you live, know where you are. If you're drinking soda, I drink soda, I'm not bashing soda. Matter of fact, one of our next videos is going to be about Dr. Pepper. If you're drinking soda, you could go ahead and have a little imitation vanilla. If if you're on life support and you have medical conditions, and you really need to be talking to your doctor anyway about what you eat. But I think that the vanilla and the chocolate go together. I have here organic cacao powder, which you can use whatever kind of chocolate you have. Chocolate chips, Hershey syrup, whatever you want. So, as you saw, I use my base of water. Stir it real well. The cacao can lump up there. And always use your favorite mug. Right here. This is a Jim and Patty's coffee mug. Let's see, I'll show you right here. Even though I live in sunny Florida, I hail from the Pacific Northwest, and Coffee People was where I went. So I'm just going to put 2 tablespoons coconut milk here. Coffee People sold to a large conglomerate who then decided to not have Coffee People anymore, but the original people were able to keep their rights and rename themselves to Jim and Patty's. So when I went back home to visit it, I picked myself up a cup. I have more than one favorite cup, but this is my daily favorite cup. Here I have my here it is, chocolate golden milk. Seems like it's a little bit bitter for me. It's not awful, but a little bit bitter, so I'm going to go ahead and add more honey. You know, you can, if you're allowed to eat sugar, you can have sugar. Sometimes I make it with maple syrup. You drink it how you like it versus what your blood sugar can handle. So that is my chocolate golden milk. The original recipe for golden milk is half a cup of milk, 1 teaspoon ground turmeric, half a teaspoon of fresh or ground ginger, half a teaspoon ground cinnamon, a dash of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon honey or maple syrup, optional. And then I went ahead and added some vanilla and some organic cacao. And that's probably why there wasn't enough sugar, because I only put it in the original 1 teaspoon of honey, and I didn't add any sweetener for the cacao. There you go. So that will be a perfect drink for a nice frozen day like today. I hope you enjoyed this, learned something, and come back and watch the future videos. Thank you very much.